Hello there. Contrary to popular belief, I think, I've not yet met my demise. I am still here and not really making videos, but I'm here to do my AFL predictions for 2024. I didn't go around to doing this last year, which maybe that's the reason why the Crows were somewhat better, but I don't know. I know it's a bit wrong of me to start this halfway, like when the season's already begun. Like round 3 is about to start, but I don't care. Better late, you know what they say, better late than never. So first up, we've got Brisbane and Collingwood. I reckon this should be a good game. I'll probably be watching this game, but I can't see. But if it was at the MCG, it would be much more 50-50. But if it's at the Gabba, I got to go Brisbane by, say, 12. Probably about that. North Melbourne, Carlton. Ain't no way North are going to win that. Fremantle, Adelaide. This could be game of the round. Crows have been a bit underwhelming recently, but Fremantle also had quite a shocker of a year last year, but they seem to be on the up. Whereas the Crows had an alright year last year and appear to be on the down. So this could be good, but in the end I'm going to go with Fremantle, unfortunately. I reckon that'll be a big blow to us. And Essendon, St Kilda. I'm going to go St Kilda on this one. Port and Melbourne. This could be a good game. Probably going to go Port though. Bulldogs. I don't reckon this game will be as much of a blowout as this predict. Because remember, West Coast beat the Bulldogs last year. In Melbourne. Not in Perth. In Melbourne. So I reckon, while I don't think West Coast are going to do a miracle again, I reckon it'll be a lot closer. I've got about 27 compared to like the 40 that it was tipping. So anyway, do that. Richmond, Sydney. Got to go with Sydney here. Hawthorn, Geelong. This, I reckon, is going to be a lot closer than people think. Although, one thing I've learnt from the Easter Monday games, Geelong always sneaks home. So I'm going to go then by about a goal. Adelaide, Melbourne. This game could either be really good or really bad. Like, because both these teams, well, I don't know about the Crows anymore, but like last year, this would have been a top of the table clash. But with the way Adelaide have been performing in recent weeks, I'm not so sure. Whereas Melbourne, I don't know how they're going to fare in this. So it's kind of a tough call, and it kills me to say this, but I'm going to go Melbourne. Crows are going to start 0-4. Oh, wrong button. Obviously Brisbane are going to win this. No way. North will be in with a chance for that one. Same with this one, but not by as much. West Coast, Sydney. Gather round's going to be full of blowouts. Fremantle, Carlton. I reckon Fremantle will put up a good fight, but I can't see Carlton losing this one. Bulldogs, Geelong. This could be good. Got Geelong, but not by much. That one could go either way. Like, because Geelong can be a bit shaky at times, but they're still alright. Whereas, same with the Bulldogs. They're two teams that are expected to maybe make finals pushes, but we don't know if they'll make the finals, if you know what I mean. Gold Coast, GWS. Gold Coast seem to be on the up at the moment. GWS also seem to be on the up, but in a different way. I'm still going to go GWS though. Richmond, St Kilda. Going to go St Kilda on this one. Collingwood, Hawthorn. I reckon on this Collingwood will break through. Have a nice little win. Melbourne, Brisbane. This could be good. I'm going to say, though, just because it's at the MCG, I'm going to go Melbourne by 9. Bulldogs, Essendon. I'm going to go Bulldogs here by about, 17 is a fair margin. GWS, St Kilda. Oh, it's at Monica. I could be here. You never know. I did GWS and St Kilda before. I think in 2022, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I could be there. I reckon, probably about 20 points. Carlton and Adelaide. I reckon the Crows are going to go 0-5. Hurts me very much to say that, but Gold Coast Hawthorn. Gold Coast will get the win there, especially if it's in the Gold Coast. Port Adelaide, Fremantle, gotta go with Port there. No way North Melbourne are gonna win that. This could be close, because Richmond are not gonna have a good year this year, but neither are West Coast. I still reckon Richmond will win, but I don't think it'll be like the 25 that this is predicting. I reckon it'll probably be closer to like 10. Still definitely with Richmond getting the win, which annoyingly pushes the Crows into the bottom 4. St Kilda Bulldogs, probably going to go St Kilda here. Adelaide Essendon, Crows' first win of the year. I can't see any way in which they lose this unless they pull out an absolutely shameful performance, which, knowing the Crows, is entirely possible. But I still got them winning. Collingwood Port, Battle of the Magpie. Gotta go with Collingwood here. Carlton Giants. We saw this at the end of last year, where it seemed like all that was on Carlton's mind was securing Charlie Curnow the Coleman. Because as soon as that happened, they flatlined. I still reckon Carlton though. I reckon Carlton will finish top 4 this year and could potentially make a run for the flag. Brisbane Geelong. Gotta go with Brisbane here. Oh, we got the Western Derby, or Derby, depending on whatever. Gotta go with Fremantle here. I reckon Fremantle will be on the up this year. I don't know if they'll make finals, but they'll definitely be on the up. Sydney Gold Coast. Probably go Sydney here. Not by a huge amount though, because I think there have been a few times where Gold Coast have knocked off Sydney in Sydney. Gotta go with Hawks there. And got to go with Melbourne there. A few boring games this round. This could be good. Oh, it's at Monica too. I might be there as well. Like, if I can go to one, well, this one would probably be the one I'd rather go to over the other one. This would be a good game. Like, both these teams are very good teams. I reckon Giants, though. Not by much, though. Port Adelaide, St Kilda. Actually, I reckon it'll be a bit more than that. No, don't get me wrong, the Crows are not good away from home, but they aren't losing this. Geelong Carlton. See, there's a few... Like, it seems to be either good games or boring games at the moment. Looking at this thing along the bottom, it looks like Geelong are almost the favourites, but it's very close. I reckon this will be a close game, but Carlton will get the win. Fremantle Bulldogs, going to go with Fremantle here. They'll definitely be on the up this year. Here we've got the Battle of the Coast, the Gold Coast and the West Coast. Got to go with Gold Coast here. Gold Coast... Maybe not that much, but I reckon Gold Coast will be making a finals push this year. I don't know if they'll make it, but they'll definitely be on the up, and they'll make finals in the next 2-3 years, I reckon. Hawthorn Sydney. Oh, showdown. Crows are... It seems to be the thing with showdowns, is it doesn't matter where the teams are on the ladder, it's always a good game. I reckon... This could be my inner bias speaking, but I reckon the Crows will narrowly get it. Carlton Collingwood, probably going to go Carlton. Sydney Derby, given the SCG home ground advantage for Sydney, should be a big crowd. I'm going to go Sydney there. St Kilda North Melbourne, look, do I have to say anything? Melbourne Geelong, probably going to go Melbourne here. This could be interesting, you know. Still going to go Essendon. Richmond Fremantle. This is going to be a good game. Because I don't know what Fremantle are like away from Perth. But Richmond are not going to have a good year. So this could be really, really interesting. I reckon just because of the G benefit, I'm giving it to Richmond. But we're only a few rounds in. We haven't really had much to observe of that. Bulldogs, Hawks. Gonna go Bulldogs on that one. I don't care how good Gold Coast are, I still got Brisbane winning this. I still remember when Gold Coast and Brisbane used to both be absolute rubbish, and it was almost a disgrace on Queensland. But now Brisbane are not a bad team, and Gold Coast are definitely on the way up. Carlton, Melbourne. This would be a good game. I know I keep saying that. I've said that many times tonight, but this is good match. Maybe Melbourne just slightly. Maybe it's just me looking at this bottom bit here and being swayed by that. Look, Geelong are very, very good at Cardinia Park, and I reckon Port's window is slightly fading. So I've got to give that one to Geelong. Fremantle, Sydney. Surprisingly even here. What? I reckon Sydney. Sydney are 9-0. How did that happen? Like normally after you lose a grand final by a big margin, you fall off a cliff. Not Sydney. They lost by a large margin in 2022. Don't know what they did in 2023. I mean, actually, they made the finals in 2023. I remember it because they knocked off the Crows. An incident that despite it being many months later, I still would not like to speak about, and as such, we will not be speaking about it. Hawthorn, St Kilda. The battle for Launceston, because, both these teams used to play here. I mean, Hawthorn still do, but St Kilda used to. I reckon St Kilda, but could be interesting. Essendon, GWS. We saw what happened between these two sides last year. I don't reckon it'll be like that big of a margin, but I still got Giants winning it comfortably. Richmond, Bulldogs. Bulldogs are going to win that. Gold Coast, North. I mean, North did beat Gold Coast last year, but I still got them winning. Collingwood, West Coast. Obviously, Collingwood are going to win that. Are Crows the favourites? I did not expect that. I mean, we probably could do it. It's just, are we going to have like a showdown-esque game, or are we going to have a Geelong-esque game? Like, how is our performance going to go? Like, are we going to play all 4 quarters, or are we going to do what we did against Sydney last year, which I can't believe I'm still speaking about, or Gold Coast in round 1, where we just don't play the game until the last quarter? Is it going to be one of those games? Because if we play it all the way through, I believe we can definitely do it. But if we fade out, then my money's on Brisbane. Should be good. But I'm sure it's my inner bias speaking. Obviously, I want the Crows to do well. I support the Crows. But, I mean, Crows made a fortress of Adelaide Oval last year. And they beat Brisbane in Adelaide last year. And they almost did it in Brisbane, which is something that not a lot of teams can take credit for. So, Gold Coast, Geelong. The odds are favouring Geelong, but I reckon Gold Coast can get the job done. Gold Coast moved to 7th. Sydney, Carlton. Okay, so Carlton have lost. I thought it was the battle of 9 wins. Given that it's SCG, probably Sydney. Look, still a bit salty about Jordan Dawson last year, but I can't see us winning that. Giants, Bulldogs. Oh! Pressing all sorts of buttons. St Kilda, Fremantle. Probably going to go St Kilda there. Brisbane, Richmond. Obviously going to go Brisbane here. Essendon, North. Probably go Essendon there. Port and Hawthorn. Gotta go Port. Gotta go Melbourne. Probably gonna go Sydney, but it's game to watch. This is gonna be like if you were to show me this last year, like when Fremantle weren't doing good at all and when Collingwood were, winning a premiership, I would have said easy blowout, like 50, like 40 plus Collingwood. But now this would be good. I would watch this. I don't know if it's on free to air or anything. I don't know if broadcast rights have been worked out this early into the season for games like this. But if this is on free to air, I'm going to watch this. I reckon Fremantle just get over the line here. Obviously Port going to win there. Carlton probably going to win there. Look, Cardinia Park's an absolute fortress. So now I'll bring it back to what it was before. Cardinia Park's an absolute fortress, and I can't see them losing that. Richmond Essendon, probably going to go Richmond there. Hawthorn Brisbane. Oh. Melbourne St Kilda, probably something like that. Easy, Crows win. Oh, that's a big percentage booster. That's very good. Port and Carlton. Maybe Port slightly, because Port are quite good at Adelaide. Collingwood Bulldogs. Probably Collingwood. I suppose, well, look, Crows are probably going to win that. We're ninth, considering how poorly we started the season. The fact that we're ninth is quite a surprise. Even though I'm probably being quite biased with my selections. West Coast St Kilda. St Kilda probably going to win that. Geelong and Richmond. Fairly hefty win there. I reckon Melbourne were going to win this anyway. And the fact that it's in Alice Springs just helps that fact. Not really in doubt there. Gold Coast Essendon, Gold Coast will win that. And the Crows will... Oh, whoa, we're in the 8. Nice. Still reckon Brisbane will get that job done. Oh, Spoon Bowl. Battle of the Winless. I reckon this could be good, because West Coast will have a home ground advantage, but North Melbourne are meant to be slightly better, maybe? I don't know. This could be good. I reckon just mainly home ground, probably. Gonna give it to West Coast. St Kilda, give that to them. Geelong and Carlton. No, Essendon Carlton, sorry. This would be King's birthday. This could be interesting. I reckon Hawthorn could get the win there. Oh. What do you reckon the odds are that every score, like no matter, even if it's clean, straight through the middle, score reviewed after the Ben Keys kick? Once again, this depends entirely on how the Crows play. If they start out poor, then I'm giving it to Sydney. If the Crows play all 4 quarters, I'll probably give it to the Crows. But I reckon maybe just the Crow. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just my inner bias, but subconscious bias. Sydney Derby Part 2. Giants will win that, I'd say. This will be a big Melbourne win. Fremantle could win that. I reckon Gabba will still prove to be an absolute fortress for Brisbane. That will not change. Visit the G. Still reckon Geelong will get the win there. Gold Coast could probably win that. Carlton will win that. I reckon Port will probably win that. Why is Sydney so good? Like, honest question. I reckon Crows could narrowly win this. We're getting a lot of narrow wins at home, and I reckon that's slightly suspicious given my biases. West Coast Hawthorn. I don't think we'll win this. I'm going to be brutally honest. Collingwood Essendon. Hang on. We started out 0-5, and now we're 9-7. My inner biases are definitely showing. Please disregard Crows' ranking. I hope it happens, but I don't know if it will. Giants Carlton, I've got the Giants winning that one. Big Melbourne win. Obviously, Gold Coast are going to win that one. Given that this one's at the G, probably Collingwood there. I reckon Port narrowly. I reckon I'd almost say Hawthorn, given that it's in Tasmania, because Hawthorn are very good in Tasmania. Giants will probably good win for Sydney. Yeah, Crows will win that probably. A few good solid percentage boosters in there. I reckon Carlton will win that by more. Well, Collingwood are knocking on the door of the 8. I wonder how Collingwood will fare this year, given, their poor start. But also the fact that they're reigning premiers. Like, you don't often see reigning premiers miss the finals. Like, the only time you see that is in the absolute fluke premierships, like the Bulldogs in 2016. Like, the ones that no one expects, and no one thinks very much of. Like, no one thinks that it's going to, start a dynasty or something. Still reckon Brisbane will win that. Melbourne on top. That's pretty interesting. Especially given all their culture issues going on at the moment. Crows are probably going to win that. Good win for Fremantle. Maybe they will make the 8. No one knows. Once again, Cardinia Park's a fortress for them. I can't see the Crows winning that, I'm going to be honest with you. No, that one's at Monaco too. I feel Monaco. This one, I think we already know who's going to win though. It's round 22. There's a bit of movement. Oh, North haven't won a game yet. Oops. Ah, yeah, North will win this, I reckon. Oh, grand final rematch at the G. Collingwood will probably win that one. Will probably win that one. Oh, Showdown. Probably not going to win that one. Look, you have to be somewhat realistic with this. Says the guy with North and West Coast on 1 win. And that one win was against each other. very, very big win for Geelong. That one, yeah, it's in Tasmania. They'll win. Richmond could just win that one. Okay, so Crows missed the finals. To be honest, I would not be at all surprised if that were to happen. So now we move on to the finals. Melbourne with the minor premiership. How bizarre. Melbourne and Giants. How funny would it be if Melbourne go out in straight sets for a third consecutive year? I don't know if it will happen, but it would be pretty funny. Yeah, probably won't happen. Ooh, rematch of last year. I reckon Carlton will probably win that one. Giants and Port. We know what happened last year, and this one's in Sydney. Then we've got Sydney, Brisbane. I reckon. I don't know. This could go either way. I honestly don't know. I'm going to move on to this one. I reckon Carlton will win that one. So we're just stuck on this. I don't know. Like, I want to go Melbourne because it's their home, but I also want to go Sydney because, you know, Melbourne's finals record recently. I don't know. I just flick that randomly. Sydney Carlton grand final. I reckon out of that Carlton will win. So there's my tip. Carlton premiers. Yay. Goodbye.